Hello everyone. A common question we get is this. My rubber keeps peeling off the blade. I apply glue, stick it on, but it doesn't hold and comes off. What should I do? First, I'll explain why this happens, and then I'll tell you how to fix it. Why does this happen? Let's rule out extreme cases like using an entirely incorrect type of glue. Let's assume the person is using table tennis glue. In other words, the glue is fine. So, under what circumstances can a rubber peel off a blade? This happens if the surface of the blade is too smooth or overly lacquered. In such cases, the rubber first starts peeling from the edges and then it continues spreading from the edge toward the center of the blade. Why are some blades excessively lacquered? This specifically concerns excessively lacquered blades. Scenario 1. The user personally applied lacquer to the blade but overdid it, exceeding the optimal amount. Scenario 2. Manufacturer-produced blades are overly lacquered, and this can happen with any brand. Both inexpensive Chinese brands and expensive brands like Butterfly can produce blades with very smooth lacquered surfaces. By the way, while we're making these interesting and useful videos and reviews for you, don't forget to visit our TT Maximum store more often for your purchases. It's the best way to thank us for our videos. Now, here's the secret of why this happens. Once a long time, water-based glue appeared. Water-based glue differs from rubber-based glue in that it has a higher level of adhesion, stickiness. Different types of water-based glue have varying adhesion strengths, but rubber-based glue generally has the lowest adhesion among table tennis glues. Rubber-based glue has weak adhesion, some water-based glues have medium adhesion, and others have strong adhesion, so strong, in fact, that it's nearly impossible to separate the materials once glued. When water-based glue first appeared, people started using it to attach rubbers, and many issues arose. Blades that previously worked fine with rubber-based glue would now get damaged when rubbers were removed. With high adhesive glue, removing a rubber would tear off small chunks of the blade's topwood layer. The blades got damaged. Manufacturers began receiving complaints about blades being ruined when rubbers were removed. Manufacturers, of course, are not fools. They understood that using high adhesion glue on blades with soft top layers caused the damage. As a result, they started lacquering the top layer of blades to prevent this issue. However, sometimes they overdid it. The top layers of some blades were lacquered so thoroughly that even the strongest glue couldn't damage them when rubbers were removed. The result? If you use very strong glue, the rubber sticks and removes normally. But if you use glue with medium or weak adhesion, the rubber begins peeling off on its own. And with old glue, the rubber peels off quickly. The core issue is that there are glues with varying adhesion strengths on the market. Since different blades use wood layers with different levels of hardness, the hard layers don't get damaged, but the soft layers can tear off in small chunks. It's worth noting that not all blades are heavily lacquered. There are plenty of blades on the market with soft top layers that aren't protected by factory lacquer. If you stick a rubber to such a blade using water-based glue with high adhesion and then remove it, the blade can immediately get damaged. But with old rubber everything will be fine. What to do? There are two options. Option 1, if it's a factory lacquered blade, it's usually coated with a special industrial lacquer that solvents can't remove. The simplest way to fix the problem of peeling rubbers is this: take fine grit sandpaper, e.g., 0 grit, and lightly sand the perimeter of the blade, about 1 centimeter around the edges. Remove the lacquer layer or at least most of it in that area. This will prevent the rubber from peeling off at the edges. If that doesn't help, you'll need to sand the entire surface of the blade. It's not necessary to completely remove the lacquer, just most of it. This will help the rubber stick properly. By the way, while I'm sharing all this information with you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Likes won't click themselves. Option 2, if you personally applied lacquer to the blade and now the rubbers won't stick, do this: get nail polish remover. It's sold in stores that carry nail products and other cosmetics. Take a small bottle of nail polish remover, grab a cotton pad, soak it with the remover, and use it to wipe off the lacquer from the blade. If the blade was coated with a lacquer made for table tennis, the remover will easily dissolve it. If you used some other type of lacquer, like furniture lacquer or one designed for spacecraft surfaces, don't be surprised if it doesn't come off. That's it for now. If you have any questions about this topic, leave them in the comments below the video.